Welcome back to you all to the Commerce Positivity lecture. In today's lecture, we will be totally discussing about the meaning and the concept of direction, definitions of direction given by different authors. Similarly, the natures, features of direction as well as the principle of direction. So let's start with the concept or the meaning of direction. So, direction. Well, direction is one of the most important managerial function which is required to initiate the actual actions in an organization. It is the process. Yes, of course, direction is the process of activating human resources to achieve the organizational objective. It helps to activate the human resources to move into action. It is concerned with instructing, guiding, and inspiring the people in the organizations for the achievement of the objective. It involves mainly overseeing people at work, making provisions for necessary facilities, and creating a better work environment wherein a peoples may perform to the best of their ability. In other words, simply we can say that directing is concerned with telling a subordinates what to do and seeing that they do it in the best and possible manner. Planning, organizing, and staffing are merely prepared for doing work, but the work actually starts when the manager performs the directions functions. Different scholars have given the definitions of directing in different sense. According to Ernest Stahl, directing is telling people what to do and saying that they do it in the best of their ability. Similarly, according to Newman and Warren, directing deals with this step a manager takes to get subordinates and others to carry out the plan. So, in conclusion, simply we can say that in the simple language, we can simply say that directing can be defined as instructing the subordinates what to do and seeing that they do it in the best of their ability for the achievement of the organizational objective. It simply includes assigning job, issuing orders, supervising the subordinates, and rectifying the errors in time. It is an important function of management to implement plan and decisions into actions. Now, let us study about the characteristic features or the natures of direction. This will make us more clear about the concept meaning of the direction. So the first characteristic here we have is that managerial function. Yes, direction is one of the most important basic managerial function. Okay, management initiate actions through directions. Without directions, other managerial functions like planning, organizing, and staffing becomes difficult. Managers have to stimulate actions by issuing instructions to their subordinates. Hence, it is referred as managerial functions. Another characteristic here we have is that linking function. Yes, of course, directions helps to link between managerial functions and the control functions. Planning, organizing, and staffing are followed by directions. Direction ensure performance, which provide materials for controlling. Human factor is another important characteristic. Direction is related to the subordinates. Therefore, it is related to human factor. It involves guiding, motivating, leading, and supervising the subordinates. Hence, direction or directing deal with the people. Similarly, another characteristic here we have is that chain of command. Direction is initiated from top level to the bottom level through various levels. It strictly follows a chain of a command which emphasizes that a subordinate is to be directed only by his immediate superior. Continuous process is another important element. Direction is a continuous process of the management. Yes, A manager has to continuously guide, inspire, and supervise the subordinates to get things done. Hence, it is existence throughout the life of the organizations. Another element here we have is that pervasive function. Yes, of course. Direction is the pervasive functions of the management. It is practiced in all type of the organizations and at all level of the management. Even manager has to give order, instructions and guidelines and motivate to the subordinates to accomplish the organizational goal. Goal oriented is the last characteristic of directions. Direction is concerned toward the organizational goal through better performance. It is the functions of the management that actually gets the work to be done. It is a goal-oriented function and ensures the continuity of the organizational operations. Now, let's study about the principle of directions. Direction is a complex functions of management because it deals with the people whose natures and behavior are quite complex and unpredictable. Managers should follow various principles for the effective directions. The first principle here we have is that harmony of objective. Organization is established to achieve a predetermined goal. Employers work during day and night and make it success. However, the employers and the department of the organizations may have their own objective. There must be a harmony or fusions between the objective of employers and the organizations and its department. The directions functions must resolve the conflict between individuals' goal and the organizational goal. Another principle here we have is that maximum individual contribution. Yes, of course, every individual have some capacity to perform the tasks. Managers should adopt such directions technique which inspire the employees to contribute their maximum capacity for the achievement of the goal. The managers should motivate the subordinates to pick the performance in the organizations. Similarly, another principle here we have is that unity of command. Simply, order and instructions are important element of direction. We know that. For effective directions, every employee should command or should receive command or instructions only from one superior at a direct supervision is another important principle here we have is that managers should provide direct supervisions to the subordinates. Every manager must maintain direct contact with his subordinates. Direct supervisions of a manager on the spot will boost the morale of the worker and increase loyalty of the subordinates to the superior. Thus, personal supervisions and face-to-face communications with the subordinates ensure the successful direction. Another principle of direction here we have is that effective communication. Yes, of course, effective direction is possible only through proper communication. There must be two-way communication system in the organizations. Downward communications creates order and instruction to the subordinates so that they may work according to the organizations. Upward communications enables the manager to understand the subordinates' feeling, thoughts. Manager should communicate clearly because he is known as the principal medium of communication in an organization. Comprehension is another important principle. Directions convey the working procedures to the subordinates about what to do, how to do, when to do, etc. This principle requires the manager to ensure that the subordinates understand his order and instruction in the same sense in which the receiver sent. In another word, the receiver of communications should comprehend the informations communicated to him. Another principle here we have is that effective leadership. Yes, of course, effective leadership is essential to effective direction. Okay, it helps to the superior to win over the confidence of subordinates. A good leadership creates respect and unquestioned loyalty. He does not seek cooperations, but cooperations comes to him. Thus, manager must possess the qualities of a good leader to provide effective direction. Another principle here we have is that effective motivation. Yes, of course, the effectiveness of directions also depend upon the effective motivations of the employers. The manager should know how to motivate and inspire the employers. Motivation creates willingness to work. It provides higher job satisfactions. To direct properly and motivate the employers, the manager should know the attitude of the employers. Strategy use of informal organization is another important principle. In every organizations, employers form informal organizations or group on the basis of their interest, habit, preference, religious, cultures, etc. The informations flow very quickly through informal channel because the informations flow in the form of a grapevine. The manager must recognize and utilize informal organizational group. The last principle here we have is that flow up. Yes, of course, direction is a continuous process of management. Managers should find out whether the subordinates are working according to the order or instruction or not. If not, what difficulties they are facing in carrying out them. Effective flow up makes sure that order and instructions are well understood and properly carried out by the subordinates. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I just hope you all understand the meaning or the concept of directions, definitions of directions given by different scholars, characteristic natures or the features of direction, and the principle of direction. In the next lecture, we will be totally discussing about the importance of directions and the components of direction. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Take care.